it has been about 3 years since I did my last top 8 favorite colors. As you guys know, my taste in colors and art has changed a little bit, and so I thought it'd be really interesting to do another video where I compare my old top 8 favorite colors with my current top 8 favorite colors. In the 2018 one, I had Quinacridone Rose, Phthalo Turquoise, Quinacridone Coral, Bordeaux, Marine Blue, Phthalo Blue, Aurelian and Transparent Red Oxide as my favorite colors. And now I have this chart, which is the top favorite colors for July 2022. So it's just under 3 years. So let's get started with these colors, and we're going to work from bottom and then work our way up. The number 8 spot goes to Permanent Yellow Deep by Holbein, and that is a color that wasn't in this before. I tend to lean more towards the cool colors, but then I started painting more, and this is one of my paintings that I did for a Patreon painting, and you can see the Permanent Yellow Deep here. And I just found that they really went well with all the other colors that I like to use, and it really brightened up the paintings rather than using the Aurelian by Holbein. That used to be my go-to ride or die yellow, but now it's kind of moving towards a Permanent Yellow Deep. I still love Aurelian, I still have it, but in much brighter, warmer painting, I think this is a better option. The number 7 spot goes to Phthalo Blue Yellow Shade by Holbein, which is a color I've had in number 6. I still love this color just as much, and I use it all the time. The only reason why it's fallen from 6 to 7 isn't because I'm not liking it as much, it's because I have other colors that I really love. It's a staple in my palette. I don't think it will ever leave my palette, and it's such a versatile paint color. I like to now add, even in warm color painting, just a dash of the Phthalo Blue to give it some contrast. And then this is a painting I did with mostly blues. And again, you see the Permanent Yellow Deep. In Patreon paintings, each month I create 2 versions. The $50 people get 2 paintings, and I do a warm version and a cooler version. But now I'm kind of mixing the colors a bit more because I find that that makes the paintings more vibrant and more interesting and more contrast. So that's why you see the Permanent Yellow Deep in here, and also the Phthalo Blue Yellow Shade in here as well. I just love this color. It's intense, it's clean, it goes so well with everything that I like to use. In number 6 we have Nickel Azo Yellow, and this is a new color that's coming in my top 8 colors. I've really enjoyed painting with this color. For example, this is another paint painting I did, I think in autumn time. So the Nickel Azo Yellow is here by Daniel Smith, and then the green gold comes in here. It also goes really well with Indigo. It's just lovely color that adds a lot of warmth, but also adds brightness to it. So when I'm going for the more autumnal look, I will use the Nickel Azo Yellow instead of either the Aurelian or the Permanent Yellow Deep. In the 5th place, we have Hooker's Green by Holbein, and this has become my diehard green, but I never use it on its own. I don't have a lot of greens in my palette. I will leave a link up here where you can find what colors I currently have in my studio palette. And this one, I don't use on its own, but it gets used a lot. What does it get used for? It gets used for neutralizing Quinacridone Rose. My go-to neutralized like gray or black color, if I want to make those, is always going to be Quinacridone Rose with Hooker's Green, because it gives you really intense black, but also it gives you nice warm kind of gray that I really enjoy. So if you've ever seen any gray color in my painting, it will definitely have come from a mixture of Quinacridone Rose and Hooker's Green. So that's what I use the Hooker's Green for. In the 4th place is another newcomer to my top 8 color as well as my palette. When I made this, Indigo and Nickel Azo Yellow wasn't in my palette, but Indigo by Holbein, I absolutely love. I used to have Indantro Blue and I never used it, whereas Indigo is more up my street, and I really like the Holbein one because it's a Japanese brand, as you know, and we have a very particular indigo color that is heavily interwoven with our culture, and the Holbein's Indigo is a really good match for that color. Other companies have different versions of Indigo and they feel a little weird to me personally because I grew up with a particular range of indigo colors and they don't match that. So I feel a lot more comfortable with this. An example of me painting with indigo would be another painter painting. This was using Quinacridone rose, the nickel azo yellow and the indigo, and the green parts is the indigo mixing with the nickel azo yellow. I find that indigo goes very well with a lot of colors that I already have on my palette, and it's also a really quick way to make it more moody, and it's a great color to add to the paintings that I make to just ground and anchor it. It gives it this earthy, heavy anchor that I sometimes need in my painting, because when I just paint with all the bright colors, it doesn't quite feel right until I throw in a really dark color. And the brown you see here is a mixture of Quinacridone rose and indigo. So just with these three colors, and they're pretty much what you can call three primary colors, you get such a wide range of colors that it's really, really easy to make an abstract painting that look really detailed and have lots of colors without actually putting down loads of colors. So I really like using it for that. In third place is Transparent Red Oxide by Daniel Smith. That used to be down here. When I made this, I didn't really understand the full potential of Transparent Red Oxide. I think it was when I've just either done the video comparing Transparent Red Oxide with other similar Daniel Smith colors, which I will link up here so that you can have a look at, see similar colors and how they compare. But since then, I have definitely come to really enjoy Transparent Red Oxide. I think it's a magical color, especially when you use it with ultramarine blue. For example, here is another Patreon painting I did. It's literally ultramarine blue, phthalo blue yellow shade, and Transparent Red Oxide, and that's all there is. And I've done other paintings that are just ultramarine blue and Transparent Red Oxide, and they create the most interesting colors. They even make like a turquoise color. You can just see a little bit of turquoise happening here, and here it doesn't show that turquoisiness very well in this painting, but just the blues and the Transparent Red Oxide makes very high contrast because you have the warmth and the coolness and then all sorts of stuff happening in between. So I love Transparent Red Oxide. In the second place we have Hooker's Green by Core, and this is definitely a newcomer, and I know I've been talking about this color a lot, but I absolutely love this color. I've been looking for a deep dark green for ages because Daniel Smith's Jedi Genuine was my favorite dark green. It still is, but Daniel Smith has been, as a company, a bit weird recently. Well, not recently, like last year. It went down a really weird path that I don't really agree with. It's why Daniel Smith hasn't featured in my channel quite as heavily as he used to be. Their paints are amazing. I love their paints, and I will always love the paints, but I also care about how the companies run and the kind of people that run it, and I don't recommend Daniel Smith on that front. I also think they're terrible with customer service, so if I can find a good replacement for my favorite Daniel Smith colors, I will do that. And one of the colors that was really keen on finding an alternative was the Jedi Genuine, also because it's a Primatech color. By the way, I will leave link up here for the video looking at the Jedi Genuine. It's very expensive, whereas Core, it's still expensive, especially over in the UK, but it's not as expensive as Jedi. And I think the tone is pretty similar. You don't get the granulation that you get in the Jedi, but all I was caring about was the hue. So I'm very happy with this replacement. So it has now become the second position in my top 8 colors, partly because it's new to me and it's still fresh, whereas these colors I've been working with for at least a couple years, if not longer. But I'm very excited about this coming into my palette. Before I talk about my top place, I want to show you guys another thing that definitely got my heart by the colors, and I love the set so much, but it's a set rather than a color, so I'm not going to rank it in the top 8 colors, but I highly recommend this set. It's gorgeous, gorgeous set. It's the Boku-undou Ezumi, and I think a lot of people have the dark set. This is the Mei set, and this is beautiful. As you can see, I've used it a lot. And here's a swatch of some of the colors. It's a lot brighter than the darker set, but it's still that muted autumnal colors. It's gorgeous. I love using this set along with my studio palette. My studio palettes are very bright colors, like these kind of colors, and this complements my palette so well by bringing in muted colors that I don't have on my studio palette. I love it. I will leave links down below to where you can get this, as well as all the colors that I show on this video, of course. But if you haven't tried the Mei ones, the box looks like this. It comes with 6 colors, these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Do give it a try and let me know what you think. I prefer this to the dark set. I do believe they have brought out a new set. I'm recording this on 12th of April, and they just brought out a new set like a week ago. I'm quite excited about it. It's more a pastel color, so I still think this is going to be my favorite color. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Anyway, on to the number 1, and here we have Quinacridone Rose again. What can I say? I love this color. The day I tell you guys that I'm out of love with Quinacridone Rose, I think is the day you need to check my ID and make sure it's me, because I can't see why I would ever stop loving this color. It's just a perfect pink for me. I love pink as my color anyway, but the Quinacridone Rose is not too red, it's not too orangey, it's just spot on color for me, and I will always love it. And it's the color that I will always plan a painting around. How can I put a Quinacridone Rose into this painting? And when I come up with a really good painting idea, but there's no room for Quinacridone Rose, I can't lie to you, I'm a little bit sad. And I will still do the paintings without the Quinacridone Rose, like this one and this one and even this one. But I'm so much happier when I get to paint with the Quinacridone Rose, like here and also in this. It's just my color, and I think it's going to be a long time before that doesn't become a thing. It also blends really well with other colors and it creates gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So yeah, I'm not going to move away from this color. So that was my top 8 favorite colors right now compared to what I used to like 3 years ago. And I would say my palette's getting deeper, darker. There's the Hooker's Green and Indigo that's making it more earthy and more anchored. I feel this feels very bright, but there's also not much contrast, whereas this has a lot more contrast. So I would say that my color choices matured a bit more through painting lots of paintings and understanding more about what set of colors makes a good painting, as opposed to just throwing colors I like. I've learned that you need to ground those bright colors with darker colors. What did you think of my top 8 colors? Let me know your top 8 colors. I would love to know in the comments down below what your top 8 colors are, or even just top 3 if top 8 is too much. Let me know what your favorite colors are, because I think that'd be a really interesting discussion, and why you love those colors. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will do another comparison in maybe a couple of years time, see where my tastes have changed from here onwards. That would be really interesting for me to see. I hope it'd be interesting for you guys to see as well. Thank you so much for watching these videos. As I said, links down below to where you can get all of this and the Mei set. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!